If you were asked, what is the greatest power in creation? What would be your answer? Of course, by the title of the video, you already know what my answer would be. But most people at first might answer mentioning a physical object. The purpose of today's inspirational video is to talk about this from a spiritual, more metaphysical angle. So let me ask you again, what is the greatest power in all of creation? The answer to that, I would say, it's your own mind, your own consciousness. How have you been using this power? Now it gets really interesting because I hope productively. If not, let's look into how we can change that around for the better. You see, your mind obviously plays a vital role in the quality of your life. But even though we understand this basic foundation, we might have never learned how to actually use our mind to our own advantage. Usually the mind is being trained from birth to be in a reactionary mode. So in other words, you only react to everything that goes on around you without any specific individual conscious thought occurring. If we were to change this around, we discover that the mind is capable of many things. In fact, it was the human mind that created all physical objects that we use, including the scary, deadly nuclear bombs, etc., that countries might show off to try and intimidate other countries. Humanity in a way is still pretty childish, and we use the mind more for destruction than for good, or at least to intimidate our neighbors. So if you were told that the greatest power in all of creation is your own mind, where do you start improving that to yourself? Well, you take a goal and you learn to manifest it into physical reality. This happens through a process that you can analyze and from experiment confirm that this mind of yours can work wonders in your life. Always we are faced with where we are and where we want to go. Where you are is made clear to you through your senses. They are like a busy highway feeding information into your consciousness. And then due to perhaps your habit of living in a reactionary mode, you simply react to what you observe and decide to feel good or bad about. However, you also somewhere in your consciousness tend to have dreams, desires, something you would like to achieve or have. They are essentially telling you where you really want to go with your life. How can we make that our reality instead of feeling stuck where we are right now? All you have to do is the following. First, you make up your mind about what it is that you really want out of life. Second, you learn to make it clear to yourself. What activities would I be involved in if my life was exactly the way I wanted it to be? Thirdly, you then must absolutely experiment with acting upon your dream. So the more clear you make your dream and what your life would be all about, the easier it becomes to act upon elements of said dream. People get caught up in the idea, I can't act on my dream, I don't have the money, don't have the right context, I don't have the resources, and on it goes. We simply have to stop making it so difficult for ourselves. If you can clearly see in your mind what your ideal life would be all about, you look pretty much at all areas of your life mentally, and then you can find insights on how to act physically. This is something I keep experimenting with for myself. It's so easy to forget about this powerful process of using our minds constructively and creatively for the greater good. Of course, this process has also been used to create bombs and all the other destructive objects mankind has been interested in making. So no matter what kind of lifestyle you would like to live, approach it just like how people would approach any other creative work of art. Your life will be like a painting, the way you're living will be like art, and the words you speak become like poetry if you make use of the greatest power in all of creation, which is your own mind. So stop living from a reactionary mode and start living from a creative mode. You see stuff you don't like in your world? Well, ask yourself, how would I prefer this area of my life to look? And then you automatically start generating mental pictures in your mind. You have some idea of what it would look like. And then you zoom in on that picture and pay close attention to the elements of that dream that you could act upon from within your current circumstances. For any goal that you want to realize, there's a cause, and if you can figure out the cause by paying attention to your mental picture, which would be the effect, well then you learn to work on things in the right order. Generally speaking, if we fail to realize a dream, it's because we are too obsessed with only the effect and we forget to work with the proper cause, which again is your own mind. The way you're using your mind will make it easier or more difficult to figure out the way towards manifesting any goal. Sadly, none of this stuff tends to be taught throughout our upbringing during our years at school or anywhere else. We are told just to follow the rules, fit into society and not try and do anything over the top. Basically, rich and successful and happy people, well, they are successful because they're lucky. That's what they say. This would change around if we were to look inside the minds of those same people and discover they are using their minds in a totally different way than the average person. Instead of thinking why they can't do something, they imagine how they could and what their dreams would look like if they were a reality. This dream itself becomes the main motivating factor in their life, and they keep on acting on their dream. They progressively attract more ideas and they're consistently acting physically on things they can do within their current circumstances. As they keep walking this path, they will start to generate more success over time, and they become capable of doing bigger things with their dreams, and one day, the whole dream is manifested in time-space reality. So usually, multi-millionaires etc. didn't become that overnight out of nowhere. They all went through the same process of dreaming about wealth and then using their imagination to come up with a way to serve humanity and make money while doing it. The majority of people, however, live from a reactionary mode, so they look at what jobs are available, hope to God they get hired, and when they get the job start complaining in private about all kinds of things concerning their newly obtained job. You can get out of this spiral by remembering your mind is the greatest power in all of creation, and therefore it can easily help you create a wonderful life for yourself. I'm well aware that if you have zero income, then it's important to at least get a job for the time being, or else you might go homeless if nobody else can take care of you. But even if you are in such a position, burn it firmly into your mind and heart. Well, my mind is the greatest power in all of creation, and I know it wields the power to come up with ideas and methods for me to improve my life, because that is the truth. No matter where you are in life, it costs you $0 to start thinking carefully about what you want out of life, and it costs nothing to use your powerful imagination to create a clear vision in your mind about the activities you would be involved in. And once that is all firmly in place, you can start looking into acting upon elements of your dream. As you keep repeating this process, you will find yourself progressively growing out of your old circumstances and end up in a completely different life, the one you set out to achieve. Truly, your mind is the greatest power in all of creation. It is also the same power that gives you access through your intuition to divine inspiration, which comes directly from the universe, also known as God. So never feel sorry for yourself or your predicament. Know that you have a mind, that much is obvious. And then in that knowing, actually make constructive use of it by focusing it on what you want, by thinking about what you want, by imagining about all the good things that would come to you were your life now the way you wanted it to be. This is what causes your mind to start seeking solutions and inspiration on how to make this objective a reality. This is what it means to live from the creative mindset, that lives from a vision and no longer from the reactionary mindset that bows down to circumstances. One feels intimidating, limiting, and remains stuck. The other feels liberating, exciting, and helps you grow towards better things. Now, if you're new to this channel, consider subscribing to receive inspirational videos on a regular basis. And with that being said, dear viewer, never forget that we are the dreamers.